So as embarrassing as this is to say, I had never seen Shawshank Redemption. Not for any particular reason, I just never saw it. I'll be honest, I was a very sheltered child when it came to anything rated R or even PG-13. For the longest time, my dad wouldn't let me watch Revenge of the Sith because it was the only Star Wars movie that was PG-13, and he wanted to wait until I was actually 13. Granted, he eventually disowned that idea, but it was a very harmful thing, I think, for me as a child, not being able to watch things like that. I'm not saying that I should have been able to watch whatever rated R shit or whatever I wanted, but it was more like it isolated me from, people because I wasn't allowed to watch like normal stuff. Like, this is the thing that parents don't understand, that sometimes you do need to just understand that, you know, some things aren't as bad as you think they are. There's a whole debate in the parenting and that, but because that there's a lot of classic movies that probably a lot of you watched when you were younger that I wasn't able to, and this was one of them. Um, this was an incredible movie. I will say. Um, I guess we'll just talk about this movie. So, if you don't know what this movie is about, because I'd never seen it, I didn't really know what it was about. I knew it was like a prison escape movie, but I didn't know the full details. So basically, we have this guy who, quote unquote, murdered his wife. Now, it's never clearly stated whether he did or didn't, but regardless, this very intelligent man is convicted guilty. It literally starts with the judge slamming down, is like, you're guilty, you're going to prison. So he goes to this prison, Shawshank, and he meets Morgan Freeman's character, and they grow a friendship, and he meets a lot of people and grows a friendship with them. He's a very intelligent man. He ends up helping people with their taxes. He ends up building a library at this prison, like doing all these incredible things. And then it leads to some other things that go down, but it's not really a prison escape movie. It's really just a drama. Like, he does escape by the end of the movie. I guess spoilers, but that's not really why you watch this movie, to see if he's going to get out of prison. It's more just these incredible characters and performances from Morgan Freeman, Tim Robbins, and so many others. And just to watch these characters do their thing, it's really interesting. It's beautiful. It says a lot of things about our world and what prison does to people. It's sad. It's emotional that, there was a particular character in the story that committed suicide, and that was a very heartbreaking scene. It was a very emotional movie. Now, I do think this movie is very overhyped because this is a movie that has been, for years, number one movie on IMDb. And I'm not saying this is not a great movie, because it is. I literally started with that, right? It's a fantastic movie. The thing about this movie, though, is it's not the most visually beautiful looking movie, or this incredible, like, it's not a Kubrick movie. Like, a Kubrick movie has amazing cinematography, performances, has a lot to say. And this movie does have a lot to say and does have amazing performances, but it has all that cinematography and all these, basically the master of filmmaking, right? This is not better than a Kubrick movie. And that doesn't mean it's a bad movie, right? But in terms of really great movies, this is a very easy one to watch and recommend to people. Even in terms of like rated R movies, there's a little bit of language, but it feels like a PG-13 movie, This movie is an incredible movie. It looked amazing in 4K. This was one of the best 4K transfers I've ever seen. The movie would look great, but like, it's just really, if you break down what this movie is, it is just a fantastic drama with fantastic characters, writing, and performances. But there's nothing more to it, right? There's not amazing cinematography. I'm not saying every movie does, but when we're talking about greatest films ever made, this is definitely in the top 10, probably top 50, right? But, is this really better than a Quentin Tarantino movie? I don't know. Is this really better than a Stanley Kubrick movie? I don't know. and not to just compare films to other films. You know, we are judging this movie on its own merits, but it's hard with all that noise of these people who have overhyped this movie for literal decades now. It was an incredible movie, and you all should watch it. And yes, this movie should have won Best Picture over Forrest Gump, obviously, but it's a fantastic watch. Um, I need to get the Green Mile in 4K now, but just an incredible movie. You know, don't listen to just what I'm saying. I'm saying these things not to deter you from watching it, to make you understand. So that if you were someone who's a new viewer to this film like I was, you can go in with reasonable expectations. Because I do think my experience was hurt a little bit of being like, oh, this is one of the best things of all time. And it, in a way, it was, but it wasn't what I expected. And I think going in with reasonable expectations can really help. And it's just a great movie. Everybody should watch it.